Farms also got the flame. Michigan Rose grows folks. Just wanna grow something to smoke. Michigan Rose Grows Show. Michigan Rose Grows Show. Michigan Rose Grows Show. Michigan Rose Grows Show.
Welcome to the Bro Show Live, everybody. What is going on?
Cheers, everybody.
It's that
What
time.
happened to Rick?
Where did fucking Uncle Rick go, man? God damn.
What
I thought
the
we were going
fuck
to
was
lose me
there?
for a
I
minute.
was trying to get in the chat, like I
You
have
know, yeah, Rook moved there.
He wanted to
He's
make an
back.
intro.
He
That's
just
why.
wanted-
Ashley
wanted to
did
talk
that,
about
man.
There he is.
What's up, Rick? What's going on, man?
Rick, I told you from the get, don't fuck this up. And what are you doing?
Out of the gates, man. Just get it out of the way, Spartan, and then we'll just be good for the rest of the show, right?
Okay.
Rick is here in an official capacity this evening.
By way of explanation, well, this brain needs no more explanation. What I wanted to do was I wanted to follow chat, so I thought I better open another window. When I went to open chat, I closed StreamYard, and it just goes on and on.
But Spartan is what you did.
Thanks
the
so much
Spartan.
for having me, you guys. Tara, I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you personally. I've followed you for a long time, and I'm really
That sounds weird,
pleased
Rick.
to meet you.
Hi, Uncle Rick. Nice to meet you finally.
We got to introduce him. This is Uncle Rick. He's the host of Let's Be Buds,
And other ventures.
cannabis talk show podcast, and cannabis connoisseur. As you can see, he's got big pictures on his wall. And welcome, Rick. We appreciate you joining us for the show. Rick wants to speak about the Last Prisoner Project.
Thanks so much, Sequence. I really do appreciate it. I gave you a heads up. I didn't want to come in thinking under false pretenses or anything, but it's really something very near and dear to my heart, and makes me feel okay about coming out of my comfort zone and talking about it. And so I've been on. This is my third show today, and so I don't want to repeat myself too much, but I'd like to just start off by saying the reception, what I've gotten from this community is just overwhelming. Everybody jumped on board 100%, and it's really, really heart-filling. What I'm thinking about is if anybody's interested in the information, I mean, I'm here and I'm happy to answer any questions that we may have. But if you go to our website, letsbebuds.ca, South Nelson Farms has been doing a fantastic job of updating our website. In there, this is happening next Sunday, September the 18th, from noon to midnight Eastern time. And on the website, you'll be able to take a look at the schedule, who's going to be on at what times. The prize pool is developing incredibly. I'm sure we'll be close to $2,000 in giveaways by the time of the event.
So what's it about?
Yeah. So, okay, a little bit of, and I'm too excited.
I know, man. That's why I'm trying to keep you on point, bro.
Thank you. I need that grounding. What it's about is the Last Prisoner Project was formed a couple of years ago, 2019, and basically they're there to help people who have been imprisoned for nonviolent cannabis offenses. And while these people are in prison, they help them through putting money into the commissary for them. They help them with getting released. They help them with expungements. And then, of course, when they get out, they're helping them with job placement, home relocation, while they're in prison as well. What this means in many cases is a breadwinner is taken away from the family, and so they're helping support the spouse and children that are still behind. So that's what they are all about.
Good example for people here in Michigan is Michael Thompson. Michael Thompson was the Last Prisoner Project helped with getting him released, and he was actually released from right here where I'm sitting in right now. Is Michigan. He was released not too far from me, like literally 5-6 miles from where I'm sitting right
Which
now.
is not a low security prison either. So he went from that to fucking freedom, and that's the thing is we just can't forget about these people, man. There's a lot of things that have changed in the time since these people have been incarcerated. And, you know, it's got to be a hell of a thing to be sitting there on the wrong side of the fence going, look at these motherfuckers out here just blazing hard, and they can travel with this and they can do that. And it's one of those weird things where it's like a Monday, Friday law. You know, I stole a loaf of bread on Monday and you got it for free on Friday, but I'm the criminal. So, you know, it's a good thing not to forget about these Last Prisoner Project folks. You're muted, Rick.
This
2 for 2, baby.
Tech Talk with Uncle Rick.
Damn, we are muted.
I got you, bro. I'm smoking, doing the chat. I got you, man.
Oh,
I'm so used to never being muted.
Okay, so yeah, no, I know, but old hat, I don't know. But I'm not looking at chat today. It's just it's too much to comprehend. So I just want to say, yeah. So we're raising money for the Last Prisoner Project, and the way it will work is all the monies are being directed directly to the Last Prisoner Project. So we'll. During the show, we will put up a link, and what you can do is direct your money to the Last Prisoner Project. Now, we have it set up so that we can get recognition for your donation. And so the way it works is when you're if you use the link that we'll be posting throughout the day, so you send a donation through that link. Okay. Once you're in the process of filling out the donation, there will be a point where they'll say, would you like to make this in honor of somebody? And by the way, all this information, again, is on my website on how to donate. And so there you can say, yes, you want to make it in honor of somebody. And the main thing to put in there would be our email address, which is lastprisoner22@gmail.com. Down further, you can put comments, and in the comments, you can put the amount that you donated. You can put your Instagram handle. You can put any other comments in
Basically,
there.
what you want to put there is what you would like to be public knowledge.
Thank you. Now, the other thing the other key point about this link is that for every dollar that we donate, Dutchies is going to match it dollar for dollar. So this is just incredible. Up to $1 million. So let's get out there.
What would that $1 million do if they were able to raise the top goal, top matching? Where would that money go?
That's a good question. And
Are you lining your pockets, Uncle Rick? Is this another get rich big scheme of yours, man?
Just another one. But
Just another one,
and
baby.
unfortunately, in today's world, there are so many scams going on there, and the way that we've got this set up, it should be foolproof. I can't see a problem. But to go back to answering your question, we have Andrew D'Angelo on our show on Wednesday night. He is a co-founder of the Last Prisoner Project, and amongst many other things, we'll absolutely be bringing up the finances of the group. So the one thing that we were talking on a show earlier today, and when you asked about where does that $1 million go, we were discussing the topic of administrative fees and so on, and which is always something we're interested in or concerned about. And so I kind of looked at it as if Dutchies is donating $1 for every dollar I donate, then there are no administrative fees. As far as I'm concerned, Dutchies is covering the administrative fees. I mean, obviously, it's not 100%, but yeah. So that's just one way. But I'll be devoting part of the show on Wednesday to finding out, that very question.
So this is a chat-a-thon, and you are going to have a bunch of different people from both the YouTube community and the cannabis community at large as guests through a 12-hour block, right?
Exactly, and what I've again on the website, I've listed the schedule and
Can we
just
share
by
that
my
screen?
memory. Sorry,
We have to share that screen to find it real quick.
you know what? I'd really appreciate it. You could do it a lot easier than I could. I'm
Oh,
sure.
contraire, mon frere. Let's not kid ourselves.
But it's all right on the front page there. If you would please, I'd really appreciate it. I'm just thinking.
What's the name of that site again for folks that are trying to type it in right now?
Okay, let's be buds with a Z .ca. Somebody got to .com before me, and .ca is Canada anyway, so that's how that little thing works. There's two little stories I want to bring up, and one, Painted Lady, so good to see you, and we, oh darn, yeah, there it is. Let
You
me
too,
finish this
Rick.
story,
You too.
please. Let me finish this
I'm
story.
still struggling.
please.
Thank you.
A
Like, what
while
the fuck?
back, Painted Lady, I was giving you the gears with some dirty fingernails or something, and we were playing a little game about the dirty fingernail thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So it was about a week ago. Sequence was showing something, and I noticed a part of his fingernail was dirty. So I mentioned it. No, man, maybe it wasn't even dirty. I thought, well, I'm gonna poke the bear a little bit. So I said in chat, I said, sequence your nails. And now I was watching Painted Lady's face, and she didn't break a smile or anything. But in the chat, she puts down, LOL or whatever. And I'm looking at her going, I didn't see you laughing.
Oh, you fucking stickler, you.
I was probably trying to be respectful to whoever was talking at the moment, and like
Instead of guffawing. Yeah, I
when I
got
was
you, man.
listening.
Yeah, that's what you're known for. No.
As is tradition.
I get so bad sometimes. I get so bad that I when I'm going to do an emoji, I really have to think hard. Okay, how do I feel right now? Do I have a smiley face? Am I questioning? And it drives me nuts. I don't know, which one do I pick? And then I got to move on. But
Do you have the 1 through 10 pain chart on the wall, with the numbers on it? And you can say I'm a 7 today. Or I'm a 4. Yeah, we could do something for you, man.
we're all over the chart.
We're all over the chart, man.
Skill, can I get you to bring that up again, please? I really appreciate
What's that?
That the website.
We didn't do it the last time, bro. I was fucking
there?
failing miserably.
That was
Sequence is doing it, Rick.
Sequence.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
thank
not
you.
that clever, man.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Okay,
Going for
we
the
have
boomers?
now. This is another area that I want to touch on, and again, I don't want to take the show away, but okay, here we are. Go scroll down a little bit. Okay, there. Schedule of the chatathon.
Mhm.
And so we start off the day with
Well, first off, the day is a week from now. You should say what day it is at least.
Next Sunday.
Sunday the 18th, and
it's
we have
fun.
a countdown timer there and everything. So we're starting off the show with Smart Poker. They'll be taking over the first 2 hours, and really looking forward to that. And then at 2:00, we've got Spartan Grown. We'll be hosting. Oh boy, Marge. Marge, she's from
Marge,
the
that's
Viking
nice save.
podcast, and she does a podcast on edibles, and I thought it'd be cool to hook up Spartan and her and have a great chat about RSO and edibles.
You're making me
I'm
drunk with
leaving
that fucking
I'm
curse.
leaving the next half hour open because who knows, that conversation may go on further. But I also want to allow a little bit of wiggle room because this is not going to go as smoothly as I would like to imagine.
It doesn't have to.
From
Yes,
the
it will.
As long as the people join the call when they're supposed to join, it'll come off flawlessly, bro. Flawlessly.
Yeah, and shout out to South Nelson Farms. He's our producer and also our web producer, our web. They got a fancy name for those people, but he's just doing an incredible job, and he'll be producing the show on Sunday, and I know it'll be fantastic. So moving on, where did we? Okay, I think we missed. Okay, I think we had 3:00 to 4:00 is Smart Poker. No, I'm sorry, Canamink. Canamink is on from 3 to 4:00. These are all Eastern times. He's always entertaining. And from 4 to 5, Green Goddess is going to be hosting the Ladies of Cannabis, and she's putting together a fantastic panel of really talented growers, female growers. And then if we keep moving along there, please, sequence. Yeah, moving down a little further. Go after. There we go. Okay, yeah. So then okay, I'm leaving another hour open for what have you, and then at 6:00 to 7:00, Home Grow the Community. They're a fantastic group of growers that are helping others, and that's going to be. And I've heard that they're going to have a special guest. That's all I know. So we're looking forward to that one. At 7 to 9, the Cheap Home Grow is going to be taking over the show, and what can I say? An incredibly talented panel over there as well. At 9 o'clock, we have Catachronic taking over the stage, and they'll be performing for the next. They'll do a set for the next hour. Following that, Chad Westport and Dave's Not Here are going to get together and talk seeds. And then the last hour is going to be the wrap, and we'll just pat each other on the back and what have you.
Rick,
okay,
I would have made in parentheses, I would have put, instead of it's a wrap, I would have said it's a blunt wrap. Blunt in parentheses. You know what I mean?
I get it.
There you go. Leave him with a laugh, Rick.
So thank you for showing. And then also the sponsors are all listed on that website. Like I said, it's close to $2,000 in sponsored donations currently. Here we go. Sticky Macro is donating a beautiful artwork. Skunk Ape Glassworks putting together some beautiful stuff. These are all unique individual products. Crazy Pop Mom is giving us a pendant and my buddy's wife, she does this pour art, and she's donated that. More stuff from Skunk Ape Glassworks. Mrs. G Bay is giving us some set of resin coasters and a matching dish, and it's just
lots and lots of giveaways, man.
Absolutely.
I see some Amy's Aces, some Tau seeds right there, man.
Yeah,
shout out to the American one.
And we're still putting together a number of people that are donating seeds and
well let's talk about the real thing is that we're going to be able to have a conversation about some real shit. I mean, it's cool we got guests and stuff on, but it's really about trying to shine a light on something that kind of gets shuffled off into the dark. And when you find yourself on the wrong side of the fence, sometimes, you know, shit ain't easy. So to not be forgotten and to be remembered and to be spoken about and to have continuing efforts to try to help people help themselves upon their release is fucking fantastic. So great work.
And I just want to stress one more thing. And a lot of people, you know, these aren't the greatest times for a lot of people. And there's something you can do even if you can't contribute cash or money. And that's the letter writing campaign. That's we're kind of running alongside at the same time. And that's just asking people to donate their time, really. And that's all it's going to take, that and an internet connection, so you can log on to the Last Prisoner Project website and just you can write an email to all electronically. And that email they'll print out there and actually physically get letters to prisoners.
Yes, you can make a difference, man.
That's super cool. Yeah. So there's something you can do, and it only take a little bit of time. So I would look into that too as well.
It gives you hope, man. You know what I mean? And that's something that money can't really buy. Yeah. But to think, you know, hey, like when I get out of this place, man, and I try to get my life back together and shit, I'm not looking for a safety net, but man, it's cool that I got this group of people out here that, you know, can bounce ideas off of and shit.
Absolutely. No question about it. It's and I'd like to say just one more thing, and that is, you know, a lot of people have been coming to me and saying, you know, it's a great thing you're doing and so on, but you know what? It's in many ways, I think of it as being very selfish, because it makes me feel so good to know that we are, as a group, are coming together to help these people, and it just makes me feel selfish because I feel so fucking good about it. So
no, it's a win-win situation, bro. It can never be selfish. You don't have to be fucking, you know, there's a thing like benevolence and altruism and things like that. It can be a win-win situation. And those are the best kind of things.
Absolutely. Yeah.
See, we're keeping you on track, Rick. How the fuck you been, man? We got to get you to take a breath for a second. I know you kind of were, you were on a gallop. Yeah, we'll let you roll a joint. Yeah, just get a couple of minutes.
Smoke it now?
I don't know.
Settle in. Hang out.
Settle in.
My day is winding down now, and
that remains to be seen.
Fantastic day, and I love this community so much.
So, what do you got going on over there, Rick? Are you wearing pants? Do you have no pants? What's the deal?
Yeah. Now, are you talking about right now or for the show?
Yeah, right now.
Well, no, I'm actually pretty much dressed. Pretty much.
I like your shirt, man. Your shirt's really fucking cool.
I'm wearing the colors.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah.
I hope you're dressed. I heard your dog barking earlier. If I see some peanut butter jars laying around, I'm going to be real suspicious.
They're talking about you, okay?
Yeah.
Uncle Rick has shown me an elephant trick. He has shown me the elephant trick. I don't know if you want to show everybody else, Rick, but
no elephant tricks tonight. But I got it since you mentioned my dog, Painted Lady. That was the other story I wanted, and I don't know if I've told you all the story before, but it goes something like this. So I was a guest on the show quite some time ago, and then of course I followed the show. And so one night I was really high, and I was watching the show. Yeah, I was watching the show, and I had my Lucy was on my lap, and I'm patting her. And then I got absorbed in Lucy, and then at one point I looked back up on the screen. I thought I was on the show that night, and I'm looking up at the screen, and I'm not there. Like, what the hell is going on here? It was a scary moment.
What were you smoking, bro? Some good shit.
It was scary. True story.
You know, they always say that people start resembling their dogs or their pets. And that's my favorite. You are my favorite example of this, because you and your dog are the cutest things I've ever seen next to each other.
Lucy, get over here. They're
And
talking.
Come on
it
up
makes
here.
me smile every time I see you.
Yeah, she's my
Yeah.
sweetheart. She's my, and she, you know, maybe the last time you met her, she has a smile, and it goes like this.
Look at Tara.
And I had to take her to the dentist, and they took out now 3 of her canines, so she
Oh,
just doesn't have that smile anymore.
She's eating
oh,
soft food though, like a champ, though, right?
oh,
She's a sweetheart.
she is a cutie.
Yeah.
She is a sweet little dog.
Yeah.
You know, I want to give you some praise, Rick, because you know you were saying how it makes you feel good to be able to give back to the community, and I think that's one thing that all of us content creators could agree upon. But you specifically, man, you bring a lot of joy to a lot of people. You know, you're talking about being at your house and thinking that you're on the show and shit. I don't think you're alone in that. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of times that you've given somebody a laugh when they've been down, or you know what I mean? Just your fucking goofiness and shit is just, you know what I mean? We need more of that. So thank you, Rick, for everything that you do. That comes from the bottom of the heart.
I appreciate that, Skillboard. You know, sometimes I do enjoy laughing at myself and being a bit of a cartoon character and getting those. This whole, you know, it's hard to put into words.
Like a dream, isn't it?
I met you all, not by by accident, but I'm totally losing my train of thought.
Not you.
Back to that good weed again, huh?
Yeah. Back to you being stoned.
Well, he hasn't smoked shit yet, has he?
No, he hasn't even lit that thing up. He's just fangirling right now. It's cool.
What characteristics, Uncle Rick, do you and your dog have in common? Do you both like to sniff butts? Do you both like?
Yes, they will. That's definitely true.
They both have summer teeth.
But
Some of their own, some of them aren't.
she's a female, but you know, I'll tell you right now, if I could lick my balls, I would. Okay, I'm just saying it.
Well, who wouldn't? You know, that's fair.
At least you admit it.
Thank you.
That's what you want. That was it. Rick? That was it, Rick.
That's all we're gonna get out of this, man.
What you wanted
I
to tell.
gotta get this joint going here. And,
I mean, you're pulling a red setter. It's fucking 9:30, bro. Let's go.
I'm
Kick this
trying
thing into
to-
gear, man.
See, I have
Kingfisher's gonna start over under in a minute on you.
I have my Lucy and also Bella, and they're sisters, they're siblings, and they're both females. But one is Bella's far more dominant than Lucy, and so you know when I think about that question, they both have their own personalities, and I'm trying to see where I might fit into it. But here's the thing, and I would highly recommend it.
Does anybody know where he's going
not
yet?
to
I
get-
don't.
He just diverted right there. That was a diversion where he's
Where
not
do you
gonna
stand
answer
on
the
sniffing
question.
butts, Uncle
What's
Rick?
going
Where
on
you
with this
at?
butt sniffing, man?
Yeah, he hasn't directly answered the question yet. He keeps talking about other things and then trying to, change the.
I know,
Spotlight
least.
spinning.
Yeah, your dog's like sniffing butts. So
I think he's on record as saying busted. Busted, I am a
Busted.
butt sniffer.
I know they are. Okay.
exactly.
And I try to stay out of it, but
I try to stay out of it, but I'm not always successful. Is that the follow-up line to that?
Sometimes you just
I'm getting
stick your nose
myself-
where it doesn't belong, right?
Oh, shit.
I'm getting myself in more trouble here.
Aren't you glad you
Did
joined
it
us?
only when you were younger, type of thing?
He
Yeah,
outgrew it.
you're
You know.
really trying to.
Actually, it was when he got older. He
down
wanted
on
to
this
try
one,
new
aren't you?
things. He's tried so many things when you're younger. You can only,
Mhm.
you got to get weird once you get older.
Oh, I found I was pretty weird in both
Rick, have you
ends.
had mushrooms lately?
Possibly. But thank you for bringing that up. I'm going to a new mushroom journey, and you're the man to talk to. Well, many people are the men and women to talk to, but this is what I've been doing lately. Is I was on my microdose journey and really enjoying it, but I missed that that high. And
Mhm.
so every now and then I'll go back and I'll do a bigger dose. But what I've been doing lately is kind of testing my threshold as to how much I can consume in a day just to get that buzz. But the thing I'm really enjoying about it is the buzz. But as I'm coming down off my high, I do a lot of self.
Contemplative thing.
Yeah,
Taking it easy, checking in with self.
Thank you. Yeah, and it's really cool. I'm really enjoying it.
It's good, man.
Yeah. I haven't.
I remember
really
there was one show that I was watching you on, and you were on some form of a not microdose, and you had a fucking screensaver on that TV behind you, and every time the fish would come by, you would freak the fuck out, and it was like funny. It was funny because I knew you weren't really freaking out, but it just fucking cracked me and just about everybody else out there.
I remember that.
I remember
Rick used
that.
to
Oh,
react
yeah.
when like a fan would blow somebody's
Mhm.
like curtain behind them or something.
Yep. Yeah. It's been it's almost coming back. Okay, it's almost there. Yeah. That's it. So this community, like I have been a loner pretty much all my life, and never lonely. I just enjoy being alone. And right up until I met all of you, I was very happy in my life. And then I met all of you, and my life changed. It really changed. And I
You saying
became.
you're not happy now? What are you trying to say, fucker? I was happy
Yeah.
before. Now, before I
Well,
met
it's
you guys.
happened before,
We've
but
drug
now
him out of his shell now.
Met you guys, and it sucks.
Maybe that was the why I was saying that, is because now I do these zany, crazy things that
That only the dogs used to see, right? But now the whole world does on replay, bro.
Are you trying to impress us or the world, Uncle Rick?
I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this, my friend. I really don't. All I know
Rick is genuine, man, and he's come
found
out of his shell.
something- I have found something that I can grab onto, and this is my latest passion is the Last Prisoner Project, and I'm taking this one. Well, I'm determined to have every prisoner released in my lifetime, and I'm determined to make that happen. What little part I can do to help make that happen. So there.
It's just keeping the idea out there, having conversations, letting people know that there are resources out there and there are things that you can get involved in. Because sadly, I don't know what the numbers are, but I'm sure that there's more than 1 million people that's locked up. There might even be 2 million people locked up. There may even be 3 million people locked up. That's a lot of people, man. I'm not saying that all those people are there for nonviolent cannabis offenses and whatnot, but I am saying that there's a lot of people that I'm just going to say have probably done more time than the youngest person in this chat or on replay is.
Oh yeah,
for a cannabis offense.
for sure.
So that's where we got to keep it real, man. It's cool to exercise our rights, but we can't forget about those that have lost theirs and their freedom to boot for the same plant that we all enjoy. So in 7 days, make sure you guys come back through over there on the Let's Be Buds channel for the Last Prisoner Project Chatathon. How do you like them apples, Uncle Rick?
Fantastic.
Did I sum it up pretty well, man?
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
It's going to be a fun day. I'll be over there hopefully the whole day. No, I only missed 2 hours of it, I think, and that's about it.
Well, yeah, but you've got your show with the Bite Me podcast, and then of course you have your Cheap Home Grow, and So just one little other thing. Anything you can do to help promote the show, by all means, please. You all are welcome to drop by and say hi if you want to just drop by and see how things are going. We're going to have a rolling total of the monies that are being raised, and also the number of letters that people are pledging to write. And it's just going to be a fantastic day, and we're all going to feel a little bit better at the end of the day. I guarantee it.
Oh, what's that guarantee? I want to hear what's that guarantee, Rick.
Jesus,
What do I get?
you don't cut
what?
any slack. You just don't cut any slack, buddy. I really appreciate you, man. You just keep me on my toe. You don't
Try
like
hanging out with them, dude.
Oh no, we would fucking
I
run
need-
circles around him. It'd be way too much.
This is what I need. I need so desperately, and I'm so grateful.
Well, then
for
come down to the States and hang out with us, man.
Well, sadly, your country doesn't welcome me with open arms like maybe they should. Okay,
Ah,
because of my history. But
well, you know what though? This is where it's cool, is because I feel like we're friends, Rick. Even though I've never met you, we've shared many a smoke and many a laugh. So even though, you know what I mean, like even though you can't fucking hang out and you can't smoke with everybody and shit, that's what's so great about this specific fucking YouTube live stream community. It's like the real-time interaction where you can kick it with your friends. Even if you don't listen to a goddamn thing I say, it doesn't fucking matter. It's just, I tell people all the time, we are the umbrella that chat hangs out underneath and kicks it. Sometimes they want to talk about what we're talking about. Sometimes they want to talk about other shit, but it's cool, man. It's just, it's like, hey, it's that time.
definitely.
I like what you're doing, Uncle Rick.
Even the dog agrees. The dog said, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Feel free to hang out, put your feet up, smoke your joint.
You are part of the show this time, so feel free to interact.
Relax.
What are you growing right now, Rick?
You muted, Rick. Come on.
Yeah.
man.
Don't say older either.
I just told him he could relax, and then you ask him a question. Poor guy.
So right now I keep mixing the name up, but I'm on day 58 of got it in my Donkey Butter by Exotic Genetics. If you're familiar with them, and day 58, and oh my goodness,
Tell me about that stem rub, man. I know you've been up inside of there. You won't sniff butts, but you'll go deep on a stem rub, right?
Hey, wait, now
That's what we're doing
let's
live.
set him straight. He did not
Never
say he
disclosed
would
that.
not sniff a butt. He has not said that.
He has not
Yeah.
clarified that. I was giving him a chance to out himself one more time, but he's not falling for it, folks.
I think he will.
Just get him to smoke another joint. We'll get him.
No, I won't. But what I was going to try to do
You won't
is
admit, or you
earlier
won't sniff.
with the on the Hemp with Gigi show, I sent him a video of my room, and I wonder if I'm at all capable of finding that. I doubt it. I really doubt it. I'll just screw things up. But yeah, no, it's really looking good. I'm really excited. I'll be coming down like a little over a week.
Nice,
That's what's
nice.
going on. Yeah.
What do you got going behind it?
Where? This way?
What do you have going?
What-
Like
what's going in flower next?
behind it? After the donkey butter, what are you going to flower out next?
It's called the candy, and again, it's from Exotic Genetics. He just told me the lineage on it. I think there's an OG Kush in there, and if we Google the candy, it'll tell us the story there. It's a indica dominant, I believe. Other than that, I destroyed everything in my. That's not a very nice way to put it. Destroyed everything in my tent. I ended up chopping down like 6 of my plants that I had out on the deck. They just weren't, they just weren't showing any sign of flower. I left the 2 that did show some flower. I've left them out there, and we'll see how they go. One more, I
You
took
left them
them.
in the same spot? Did you try moving them?
Right. Why did they fail?
They weren't getting enough light. But you think you moved them in a different spot? They might.
I did try. I moved, like, my neighbor's got a nightlight over here, and we were thinking, well, maybe that was the issue. Although I've been trying to grow outdoors here for 15 years, and I've had very little, if any, success. But I did on your suggestion, I moved a couple of the plants over to this side of the house where it's blocked from the light of the neighbors. And
Did you notice any difference at all or no?
no.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't really give it a big chance, maybe a week, and just to see the difference, and it was negligible. So you had to go.
Sometimes it takes a little bit longer to grow out of shit.
He's a harsh.
He's a harsh mistress, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well,
Speaking of outdoor, man, my shit is fucking banging. And I took the one nose candy that I had down. That shit is dank as fuck, man.
I'm sorry, which one was that?
Nose Candy by 2020 Mendocino.
So
Oh.
autoflower.
It's
Mine's
an autoflower.
Mine should be dry here pretty soon. I'll be able to start trimming on that.
Is yours leafier than a motherfucker though?
Yes. Yeah.
Ooh. I'm like, I didn't go crazy when I de-leafed it. I just pulled the fans off. And you know, it's been a few days, so it's starting to pull into itself. And I'm going, God, maybe I should have pulled a few more than motherfuckers off.
The buds look just like this microphone, though. It's like I got like 3 buds like this. I'm like, damn.
Dude, I got one long fucking spear that's like probably 9 inches tall and probably a little bit less than a soda can. Probably like this around. Ooh, did you hear that incidental, like accidental hash time sound?
I heard
That's
that.
very Pavlovian of us. And that's my reminder to let everybody know, if you're not in live chat right now, you're missing the best stuff.
Oh,
Secondly, I hope you gave the show a thumbs up. And we are 18 minutes from hash time. So
I want to shout out. I see
get your accoutrements together, Rick.
I see Nut Trees in chat right now, and Tara too here on panel. It's just so cool hanging with them at the Camp Compost. For one, that event was fucking badass.
It looked cool.
The vibe, like I've always said,
Dude.
At first it was my favorite vibe was Clio. Then my favorite vibe was Luzerne. Now my favorite vibe is Camp Compost. It's just, I don't know. It was really dope.
pretty chill, wasn't it? It was.
Tara
just-
put that 16-minute music fucking thing up there, and I'm telling you, I listened to all of it. I was jamming the whole time. Like, I
It
could really
was,
fucking
you
get into
know,
this, man. This is cool.
all around great setting. They really put on a great educational
friends?
event, is what I'll call this, because there was a little bit of vending, but it was more educational than anything, and I learned a shit ton.
Well, it's hard to vend
One
human
night-
culture, man.
I'm
You know
not
what I mean?
joking.
Like, what are you selling?
So you're just on. It was on somebody's. It was. I don't know if I should say their real names. I'm gonna avoid that.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was at one of their people's property, and so it's a private event. But at one point, you just hear we're like, because we're pretty far out in the middle of like no fucking where. In fact, where you turn off the road that you turn onto that you get to Camp Compost, right at the turnoff, there's this big enclosure with fucking elk in it. Elk.
Oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah.
Huge elk, huge.
And anyways, we're sitting there, and all of a sudden Anything Rose was right there with me, and I was like, do you hear that? Sounds like a freaking ice cream truck. No shit. Ice cream truck comes pulling up, and I'm like, I'm going to the ice cream
They
truck.
know where the money's to be made.
And it's so funny because the people driving the ice cream truck it's family that works with Nut Tree at Classic Roots. It's her mom and sister, the head grower, her girlfriend, it's her mom and sister that run the ice cream truck. So here they come rolling in. So then Troy
You
and
inside
I
tipped
do
them
this little
off.
quick Snapchat to say hi to the head grower over at Classic Roots, just impromptu and just out in the middle of nowhere. And here shows up their family. It was like, oh my God, this is crazy.
I think they did well because they left. So they got cleaned out and they came back.
Yep, and they came back. Yeah, it was fun. It was a very eclectic bunch of people. I don't think anybody really wore their shoes, which was super cool. Definitely went on some hikes looking for mushies, exploring different plants, trees, leaves, just little things around you, just trying to, say thank you and grasp all the stuff around us that we take for granted. I think is really maybe what I kind of took back from this weekend was, we take a lot for granted, and little simple things can give back from what we're taking.
And there's
So,
there's
it's,
so many good examples of easy ways that you could close loops.
Oh yeah.
Shit that you normally would throw away.
Yeah.
And that was super cool. All the different kind of composting ways. And
So
and it
did
was-
you
and
lay your
it's
style on them? Did you tell them what you do and be like, look, man,
oh man,
here's
that's
my no fuss way.
I shared when I felt like I needed to share, but it was mostly I was there to learn. I was asking them questions. I was wondering. I wanted
So
to.
what's the thing that you learned that you were like, oh shit, I didn't know that?
Man, there was several things there that I learned that I didn't know. But what was really cool to me was, the one that was super interesting to me at the very beginning, day one, was the hemp stalk inoculation. So they run them through like a wood chipper thing to break them down, or you can just cut them by hand, just your sticks and stems, and they put them in a burlap sack, and then you put it in a 55-gallon drum, and then you fill it with water enough to cover it, and you have to mix in that water. For every gallon of water, it was 6 grams, I believe, of pickling lime. And
Oh shit! Is it breaking it down?
what it's doing is it raises the pH, and it's going to be killing most of the harmful stuff that you don't want in there
Pathogens.
to give you an open spot to inoculate something that you want on there. And what we were inoculating there was I don't know if it was blue oyster, but it's oyster mushroom. So like an oyster mushroom, like a mushroom block you'd see in a bag.
Yeah.
You just break that up and you mix it in. So I'm getting ahead of myself. So after you put it in there with the pickling lime in the water, it has to soak for 12 to 16 hours. You pull that out. You just like throw it in a
That's
chair
not bad.
to dry out. Once it dries out enough, then so it's not sopping wet, it stops dripping. Then when it's still moist and everything, you just break up those blocks of mycelium in there and mix it up good and let it take over. Then you can use that product in a bunch of different ways. You could throw that in a mushroom bag and bloom out those mushrooms and harvest those mushrooms to eat. Or you could take that and, like, if you had a big garden or something, a big area you needed to cover that you wanted to bring that fungal ratio up, you could just top dress it like a mulch and cover that whole area with all those hemp stalks, and the blue oyster mycelium would just already be inoculated all over it, and it's going to inoculate into your soil. So I thought that was cool. That was a cool little spin on things. Then they did biochar. There's huge fire.
Okay, so this is my thing. Can you make biochar at home?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Okay, because I've watched videos.
We made it right there. It's not as complicated as the videos. What the videos are showing you usually is how to make the most purest, fastest.
Which is the no oxygen fucking burn shit.
Yeah,
right. You're doing the slash and burn style where you dig like the trench.
They dig a hole. We dug a hole. We didn't. There's a hole already dug, but just a hole in the earth, and then you just pile on a bunch of wood. Brush and wood, and then light the fire from the top so that it has to burn from the top down, and then you stand. It's cool to stand around fires anyway, but you stand around the fire, and he was saying that he just looks down at it, and you can see the ash start forming around the wood as it burns and things like that. And he said you just want it, once it starts to go all white around the wood and stuff, then you put that fire out, and
with just straight water.
That's one easy way to do it, but he threw a twist on it. Was he was using that water that you're dousing the flames with as an inoculant. So he was using like either
he was inoculating the biochar while he was
so putting it out with like
like
a labs, or you put it out with a or you put it out with a fucking just a compost. Use something really mineral dense like a compost extract.
Bro, I have so much brush to fucking burn. It's crazy.
Yeah. So you could do that, and then you just take that and crush it up and real fine, and then it looks like a
black powder, a little shine to it.
Yeah, it looks almost like worm castings, but it's going to be a lot lighter. But it is important to inoculate it with something and to get some of those minerals back, because if you don't, it's going to act like that in your soil and suck it all out of your soil, and it might.
Fam, why my plants yellow?
Exactly,
that's what that is.
But I mean, there's so much stuff. I mean, they had a plant
identification
where they're saying, this is this plant, this is what it's good for, this is that plant, this is what it's good for, and just
that was very informational. I mean, those ladies had a lot of information about things that it could be used, different things that you just would never know.
Yeah, I mean, that's right up my alley too. The stuff that I love to talk about anyway, just these wild plants and what they would be good for and stuff. So that was, close to my heart. But just simple information, like when you're looking at tree leaves and the difference between a simple leaf and a what they call it, a compound leaf or something like that. And I had never heard that, but you just see where the bud is, and then you can tell if it's just a simple leaf or a compound leaf, and that can really help you with identification for different plants.
Can we use these for something like this information?
Absolutely, you could. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't want to take up too much of the show.
Oh no, you're doing good, bro. We got 9 minutes.
I was just saying 9 more minutes.
This motherfucking cart, man. I was going to ask Tara.
For pine, I mean, you can, like early in spring, they were talking about how the needles of the pine shoots, really not the needles, but the very, like what you would call like the
new growth,
the meristems, or the very ends of the leaves, the ends of the growth tips, the real light colored green shoots of a pine. You can fucking actually take and eat those that are really high in vitamin C. most people think you can't eat pine trees. What are you talking? But yeah, there are edible parts of pine. And
Real quick, can you? I've boiled those before. Does that like
Make a
leach
tea
out
out of
the?
it or something?
Yeah, exactly. Does that leach out the nutrients, or is it just
Yeah.
flavor? Okay,
no, it'll leach out the nutrient as well.
sweet.
That's boiling it will like speed up the process, but you can also just fucking throw it in straight water and it'll leach out a lot of that stuff too. A lot of those things are water soluble, so just
Well,
soak
one
in
of your
water
things,
and pull it out.
the first thing you mentioned, we never talked about whether it was anaerobic or aerobic. It didn't sound like we had any kind of oxygen source, so it was like an anaerobic thing that we were going to inoculate, right?
Are you talking about for biochar?
No, before we talked about biochar, we were talking about what the fuck was the topic?
Oh, when they
Hemp stock?
inoculated the eggs.
So
Yes.
so what it is, so this is okay. So this is pretty genius actually. So this is how you're trying to I forget the name. It's like not pasteurization, but it's similar to it. So what you do is you're sinking this bag
Fermentation.
under the water, and that is killing off all your aerobic things, right? Things that need oxygen because you got it sunk underwater. And we had a rock or no, it was a stump over top of it to keep it under the water. That kills up all your aerobic. And then the step where you take it out and you let it drip dry for a while. That's now all your aerobics are dead.
Okay.
And now the only thing that can be living is anaerobic. You take that out and you put that in a chair or you hang it up to dry. Now all your anaerobic are dying, and the only thing that can be left that can populate at that time is aerobic. And generally speaking, and it's not everything, but generally speaking, your aerobic are the good guys, and that's why you do it in that order.
That's right.
So that was the reasoning.
That's
to
the
do all
step.
that. Yeah. So it's like, how can I almost pasteurize without having to light a fire, without having to use a lot of energy?
See, this shit just fascinates me, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm not poo-pooing any other things, but this deeper dive on organic shit, I really like it because I'm kind of science stupid. So a lot of the shit that you guys already know, like Tara's been a gardener for fucking
Ever.
3/4 of your life, right? You know what I mean? So
Long
it's
time.
like a lot of this shit, like you go there and you see this. What did you walk away with from like what you want to do going forward, Tara?
Well, one thing that they did have there is they had I can't remember his name, but he was talking to us about his chickens and what he does with them and how he moves them around his
He was
yard.
so
And
cool, that dude.
I know. And that's one thing I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted chickens, and that was one of the things how I was going to utilize them was a mobile like pen kind of thing like he was doing. So I was like
On a trailer?
super stoked to hear. Yeah. On the back of
Yes.
the
Trailer.
trailer.
Yes.
In the back of the camper, the mini Winnie. But
No,
yeah,
I mean the
super
coop.
excited to
Sorry.
hear other people were,
I mean,
were
the coop
using
is
that
on a-
method of that. So that was super cool. But the Hugel, that was what I was really as how they made the actual Hugel mound, and that I just absolutely, that was fascinating to me, and like to actually
the
watch
secret?
it come together from start to finish, and where we were actually sitting, we could see the slope of his yard, so that when it came time for ice melt up here, it made sense that it would hit where he had made his mound, and it will totally go into there. Like
Flush
he'll
through.
be able to plant before everybody because he's already got this this far off the ground that's not even hitting. They planted things before we left today, so that was super cool too. It just an eclectic bunch of people, strangers that came together with like minds to, I don't know, what a great weekend. I've had a great summer, but this weekend was really like something special. This was a really, really good group of people.
It was a really good mix of
Mm-hmm.
learning, and then there's a spiritual side of
Mhm.
things, and it was like one of those all inclusive. It was like, we're not teaching a specific, here's a book and it's something to follow.
No,
It's like,
it's a
no,
way to
just-
start thinking about things.
yeah, just to
It
open up
was.
to nature and to have some respect for things around you, and all positive things. And man, I mean, that's like I was kind of saying, opening it all up, but it's just the vibe. The vibe of it wasn't like I was walking in, I wasn't paying to go shopping. It wasn't that, which is the vibe that I get at a lot of the
Yeah.
events. And I don't want to
Yeah.
shoot shit on them all, but
Right.
I mean,
No, but it's a different thing, man.
And it's a great
different-
discussion.
yeah,
I
it's a
want to.
completely different thing. I mean, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but if that's what you're looking for, you would have been disappointed and said this was the shittiest event you went to, because There's
I think we can all agree
there's
we're
very
weed
few
nerds,
vendors,
though.
and there wasn't, you know,
How many
a lot
duffel
of-
what I mean.
bags did you see, Spartan?
how many duffel bags?
Probably
yeah.
not many.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of tents. That was another cool thing, was they had a whole field. The field was surrounded by forest, so you were like in this, it felt like a
That's
valley
really
almost.
cool.
And then the field was an overgrown field, but they just went through and mowed paths, these random paths, and off the paths they would just do it off the path, a little like driveway, and then a circle for where you
Yeah,
could
it's
set up a
such a
tent.
little nook
So there's little nooks all around.
with
already
tall
set
grass
up.
in between. It was really super
It
cool.
was super cool.
I want to hear more about the chicken guy and how he was mobile. Because did he have just
No,
like
he has two different things. He's got static coops, and then he also has chicken tractors that he's using to
Tractors,
pasture,
that's what they're called.
to
Yeah.
fertilize his pasture. He said that he has the best pasture grass ever
Oh.
now, just from the chickens.
Wait, okay, so explain it though. Does he have like what is it? I'm trying to visualize
Like a
this.
fence. It's like a
You know, he
fence.
actually didn't like really give up that many details of exactly how he had it made. It was more, I don't know. I guess I kind of had it in my mind what I was thinking of possibly what it is, and it might not be that, but it sounds like he just kind of corrals them to certain areas, and he'll just
Yes.
like
Does that? Well, he does that too for
could-
to set up where you set up a new bed, or you wanted to clear
Right.
a new area.
Buy
he
it,
said
go
he'll just-
online
he'll
and
just
buy
use
a
fences
puppy
to
pen.
Put them in there.
And
and
a
just
puppy
throw 'em
pen
all
will be
in
like
there,
16
they'll lay it
feet
all
long. And you fold it into whatever fucking shape you want. If you want to have a bigger area, if you have more chickens, clip 2 of those bitches together. Just clip, hook them together, make your square, let them go to town on there. I don't know how many days they told you to do it, but then when that shit's good, then you just take that shit apart, boogie on down the line. There goes the tractor. Move it to the next spot. Clip
Yeah,
that shit back
that's
together.
the key though, is you have to have a fully enclosed and secure coop that's mobile. And that has to be on one of those like, Tractor Supply trailers, right? Or something just like a cheap
Sure.
trailer. Garage sale, estate sale, grab one of those, right? Just something with wheels
Mhm.
that can support it. But my thinking is like I would love to have something like that, like a mobile coop that has like the grate or something that's open enough to drop all of the chicken
The manure.
droppings, if you will, as you move it, without having to just dump it all out. But you also have to have it secure because there's so many animals out there that are just ready to murder chickens. So
look into, if you're going to build this crazy contraption yourself on some old axle set, look into getting depends on how big it is. You could get the pans that they have for like your washer and dryer, the big plastic
Mhm.
things.
Mhm.
And then you could just cut that through so you could slide that in and collect all the shit.
So
and
my
then
coop
pull
has
that back
that.
out.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
coop itself has that, but it's kind of like a second floor kind of thing. I would love to just have them all contained in this giant thing that like I'm just thinking of this like
So you need a poop
like a
door.
Roomba
Trap door,
that
poop door.
just pulls my mobile chicken coop through the yard like a few times a
Would
year.
it be called a
and-
poop at that point?
Sure. I'll
A
work.
coop
I'll
bun?
work with that.
It's
Better
almost
go
half
trademark
time.
that
You
real
guys should
quick.
be heating up your
Why
shit
don't you
right now.
Why don't you just get a quad and move it, every day?
No, I'm down, but so currently my coop is inside of a 10x10 dog pen or kennel, I guess is what it's
Hash
called.
time.
Cheers. But it's extremely heavy, this giant like 8 foot or I guess
Oh.
6 foot tall, 10 foot wide fencing. There's like 4 sets. I would love to have a roof on it too, and honestly a floor. So like that thing's not moving anywhere. But I've seen a lot of coops that are on just trailers that you can pull around with.
Yeah,
Like
they call them
quad or-
chicken. Yeah, I thought you actually had a chicken track. They call them chicken tractors, I think. But
Okay.
yeah, but they make them to be mobile, and then they have a hitch on one side, and you just back up to it with your
Nice.
quad, and then you pull it.
Yeah. See,
Or they
I-
make them where you pull them by hand too, where they're smaller, not as big.
I mean, I got a quad. We'll just go with that route. But I have seen and talked to like the Amish builders of these chicken coops, and by God, these are like houses, like small miniature homes, man. But they're like $2,000. But there's nothing getting inside those coops, and they're really sweet. But I would love to have one on a trailer. But we're talking like a $3,000 investment. I better get more chickens, I guess, and
Yeah.
get more eggs, to make it worth my while.
Well, what he was mainly talking about was using his chickens more as think of them as your compost
Source.
pile.
Yeah.
So what he uses his chicken yard for is his compost pile. So anything that you would throw in your compost pile, he'll just take and throw it over the fence where his chickens get to. He'll rake it into a pile, and the next day that pile will be just disintegrated. Like
Mhm.
they'll fucking scratch through it.
Oh, they get all of our leftovers, man. There's no throwing away any food anymore. You know, if it's not getting saved for leftovers for us, it's getting sent out to the
Yeah,
chicken
he said food scraps, all that shit. He said.
So I get a
It's
dumb
out there.
question for you then. If I wanted to salt my my compost pile, would you just like throw the alfalfa out after you did the chickens, or would you throw the alfalfa out, let them chow down on it, and then shit it out and go from there?
What'd you say? The first part? Do you
Alfalfa.
go with what?
If I was just using it for like my mobile compost and I'm trying to create like a future bed spot, you know what I
Okay.
mean?
Okay.
So I'm thinking like I could use this where I could, you know, mark out my pen for them,
Mhm.
have them go there, get everything, you know, all kicked down and everything else good to go. If I threw alfalfa down, because I want to add some tricantanol and all that other good shit to my
Mhm.
future compost pile, would you feed it to the chickens or would you just throw it in afterwards? Or fuck it, just let them figure it out?
So for it to become plant available, it's going to have to break down, and it's going to have to be broken down by microbes. If you put it in after the chickens, it's going to take longer to break down, so that it's going to be released at a later date. If you put it in before the chickens and the chickens get in there, they're going to break it down by scratching it up and going through it and breaking it down physically into smaller pieces, and it's going to be broken down by the microbiology after that.
Because you can go to Tractor
Yeah,
Supply and you can
yeah,
buy a
so-
big fucking bag of that shit for cheap, man.
Yeah, so
Big
my answer to you is it depends. Do you need that nutrition, which is going to be a lot of nitrogen and then a lot of micronutrition? Do you need that early on, or do you need it later on? And that would be my answer. Would be okay if you want it earlier, then process it with your chickens to break it down
Right.
further. If you want it a
Okay.
little bit
Well,
later,
I was
then
thinking
don't
in terms of like, I've got all this property and I'm growing out of 7-gallon pots right
Wait,
now.
as far
But
as
I'm
the-
looking forward.
as far as the mindset of the natural farming, you're already kind of skewed in thinking that, well, I know I can get alfalfa for pretty cheap at the store. You know, that's not, no, it's what do I have on my property that I can
that I
process?
can
Like,
use.
you
right.
can use the leaves. I mean, how many trees do you have on your property, bro? The fucking leaves alone, you can throw fucking, like he was talking about, and he
They're already falling.
lived around a forest, so he'll just get piles of leaves in the fall
Yeah.
and then put a tarp over them, and he saves that to throw
Is
it
that leaf
into
mulch
his
or leaf
chicken.
mold?
No, he throws it into his chicken coop. He pulls open the tarp, grabs a bunch of it, throws it into his chicken coop in the wintertime when there's nothing else to give the chickens. He doesn't hardly feed his chickens much food at all. He was talking about the only food input he ever gives his chickens is black sunflower seeds, and that is it. Everything else, they get their nutrition from all the scraps he's throwing in constantly.
Just
And
scraps.
this is it's almost like a chicken philosophy, right? We have our growing philosophy,
Colonel
right?
Sanders,
and how
if you will.
Yeah, fair enough. We have our growing philosophies, right? Whether, you know, maybe we want to grow outdoor, organically, indoor with LED, hydroponically, no salts, whatever it is, right? That's your own philosophy. Whatever it is works best for you. It's kind of the same thing with the chickens, right? My chickens aren't mobile. I'm not moving them around the yard. I'm not really like using their compost, so to speak, at this point yet. But I am using my scraps to feed them, so I don't have to spend so much on feed. Like that's my philosophy, right? Like it's all about saving on the input there. But there's more that you can do with it, and I like the way Spartan's thinking too. Like you have to think about the frame of reference, right? It's like it's about creating a closed loop, and I think that's ultimately what it is. It's like how can you
Use
not
everything.
outsource stuff? Yeah, if you got chickens or horses or alpacas or whatever it might be on your property, you know what I mean? Like how can you use their outputs as a benefit, and how can you use your outputs as a benefit to them with reducing your inputs or your outsourcing? It's just it's a hard philosophy to like really commit to, but I think it's an easy one to grasp.
Yeah, you're saying that the chickens were happy to get the green canvas leaves in the wintertime, you know, because you don't see a bunch of green shit in the wintertime. So they were thrilled in the wintertime to see that green material. And then, I mean, as cannabis farmers, that's one thing we're trying to constantly get rid of, it seems like.
Well, years ago when I was using the 4x8 bed, Spartan and I were talking about what to do with the old stalks. And I remember the first time I did it, I pulled the whole fucking thing out like a dumbass. And Spartan was like, "Oh, bro, don't do that, man. Like that shit'll all break down." So then what we did is, remember you had me stick the stem after it broke off upside down into the soil so it would break down. Then I got to the point where I would sit there with a joint in the morning and sit on my little roller stool with the little fucking side cutters and just chop branches and just cut them into as small pieces as fucking possible. They were shooting off the walls and everything else. You had to go around, sweep them up, throw them on top, man. but that made some of the best damn soil, you know. And it was cool from like, if you live in a red state, here's the benefit is that's less opportunity for you to get booked, you know, because throwing away a bunch of stems and shit and all that, you don't want to put that garbage in front of your house. And these days there's too many cameras around fucking trash dumpsters and shit like that. You don't want to get booked that way. You're in a red state. Never play with your fucking safety. Uncle Rick's here talking about the Last Prisoner Project for people who have been jammed up on just such a fucking occasions as that. So we got to play it smart. Sometimes, you know, a little bit of fucking operation security is a good thing, as well as it's renewable.
Before we leave the topic of the chickens, I just want to throw it out there. Like,
Do you sniff chicken butts?
First, the chicken or the egg? Like, I got to know this.
Well, you were there. You would know. Let us in on the fucking secret, bro.
I'm gonna say the egg.
Tuesday. Most people don't know that.
I'm gonna say the egg, and the reason I say that is because whatever the first chicken had to come from an egg. It was like a mutation or whatever that made the first chicken from whatever it was before chicken. So it had to mutate, and then that had to have been born through an egg.
So it was an egg, just not
It
a
was
chicken egg.
Velociraptor at some point.
Right. It was probably an egg. Was the mother
For
of the
sure,
egg
dinosaurs.
was not chicken?
Dinosaurs were feathered. Why wouldn't they come from dinosaurs? It's a little mini T-Rexes.
They are. They
Velociraptor,
absolutely
bro.
They
do.
got little tiny ass stupid brains, but they're so good at doing what they're like, evolved to do. It's just very little, but they're so good at it.
So another interesting thing about this guy was that he, after a certain time of the day, he would let his chickens free range into his woods, and he had one flock of chickens now because they've bred and everything, but there was a group of chickens that refused to come back and into the
pen
coop at night, so they actually live out in the woods.
We got
Why
too many coyotes around here.
are
for
they hopping
fucking-
up in trees? Are they hanging out with turkeys? What's going on here? Because those things will get smoked so quick.
They don't, I
Smoke.
guess.
I don't believe it, dude.
Oh.
That's
Okay, I'm just
badass
telling you what he
chickens,
told
man.
me. I don't have any way of proving it. I'm just telling you what he told me.
There's been a couple occasions over the years that I've been raising chickens that they've, found a way over a fence or, slipped being, ran into the coop at night. And I've, brought out the search party, including my dogs and flashlights and, family, and just like, all right, where are they at? And we've always eventually found them before something else did. But that being said, I've had many taken in the night, right out of the coop sometimes. So I don't know. They're just like the most vulnerable things, but they're so valuable on any size farm.
He was talking about that. He lost some to raccoons even, and
Yep. I
he
lost
said,
one this year to one and
birds
a
of
half.
prey is a big one. He said too.
Red-tailed hawks.
Yeah. And that's why he would
Did
keep
he
them.
die?
He keeps them in the
Hogs.
in house till a certain time. And I guess because all that shit's out during the day. Apparently, weasels was another one.
Yeah, I had a
But,
mink destroy my whole coop.
yeah.
Fox
you
are real
bastard.
bad.
You have foxes where you're at?
Oh yeah.
Fox.
Oh,
That he was
wow.
saying fox was a big one too.
hmm
He said they all kind of strike during the day. So
I
then,
saw a skunk the other night. I've seen possum, but I really like possums because they're anti-tick,
They
kind
eat
of.
ticks and
yeah.
shit, man.
Yeah,
Don't bother
yeah.
possums. They don't bother
Exactly.
you.
And they're so scared. It's so funny. Like I shine a light out there and they scatter so fast. Whereas like a raccoon just kind of looks at you, and they're like, all right, well, someone found me. I'm going to pretend like I'm not here, And then skunks scatter pretty quickly too. They're kind of like cats, but I'm okay with them just peacing out. I don't want to deal with that.
I dealt with more skunks in the city from fucking filthy ass neighbors
Trash
leaving
cans.
trash around and
Yeah.
shit. Then yeah.
Skunks
My
are so
God.
cute. Have you seen that Atari the skunk on IG? The
I've
pet
heard of
skunk.
it. I've heard of it. I haven't looked at it.
So cute.
Adorable.
I mean, I guess remove like the fangs and like the glands or whatever. We'll be okay.
I've
Like,
never
I
heard
can
of somebody
chill.
being savaged by a skunk. I've
You-
heard of
you
someone
take the
getting
fangs off
sprayed,
your
but
dog?
never
What kind of
savaged.
bullshit you taking the fangs away from, man?
I don't
Jeez.
think they have fangs.
They do. Oh,
It's
they're
like hops up to you like ding ding ding.
I mean, it's
That's
like
like
it's like a big house cat.
K9
basically.
teeth.
Yeah.
You don't do that to your
Sprayed in the
dog,
face.
man. Why would you do
They're
that to
fine
your
with the canines.
I mean, I'm not gonna have a pet raccoon or skunk either, Spartan. I'm just saying, if I was going to,
Hey,
I'd probably.
if you want to be an animal hater, be an animal hater.
sterilize
But we
that
don't all
thing.
gotta hate them too.
Pretty cool.
Hey, I love animals. I just don't like the predators. All right.
If you want to torture them, though, pull their teeth out and shit.
I'd
Damn.
rather not have one at all, honestly.
There you go.
You guys are similar in certain aspects, I think.
It's like a pyramid or a triangle. You know, we have common goals, but we just come at them from very different ways.
Spartan won't go whitewater
Say there's
rafting
4
with her.
sides to a pyramid, bro.
Yeah, why would I do something I don't want to do? That's weird. Anyways, Kyle91 in chat asked the question: did they do a hands-on with inoculating canvas stalks with blue oysters or anything like that? Yes, they did. That was what I was talking about a little bit earlier.
I keep thinking that I'm getting fucking like zoomed in on it. Every time Tara lights that fucking bowl, it looks like I'm getting ready to get somebody put a laser light on me and shit. I'm like, flashbacks, man.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right
Secrets
there.
you're hiding, Skilbo?
I didn't even pay
Huh?
attention until you said it.
Yeah, man. Like, oh
Sorry.
shit.
I do want to shout out the I don't know all the names. Maybe I think Tara knows a lot of those people, but everybody put that event on. So
Where was it at?
Jet-
Like
it was
what
like
general
Jet House
area?
Gardens, Jet House
House
Gardens,
Gardens.
Organic
Cool.
Alexa,
Wormies, the Bukashi brand, Haifa,
Haifa.
Smokey was a sponsor. Oh darn it! I knew you were gonna.
Putting her on the spot.
I hate that.
Come
I
on,
should have wrote
Tara.
them down.
Come
Hold
on,
on.
Tara.
Don't
Hold
forget
on.
anybody. They're going to be
Nut
pissed.
Tree's got it
Yeah, they're
for
gonna-
me. Hold on. we've
Shout
got
out
it.
to
We've
Nut
got
Tree,
Hyper
man.
Grow, Urban Conscious, Murdoch Craft Cannabis, Terp Wizard, Rubber Ducky Isopods, Landrace Indian, The Invasive Trimmer, Jet House Gardens, Deharmic Being, Third Coast Bee Collective, Botanic Organics. Hold on. Botanic Organics. I'm shouting them out. I almost forgot. Holy cow.
Holy
So
cow.
I stumbled upon some flour, which I didn't expect to get there, and he had probably 9 different strains to pick from. Maybe I smelled all of them, and as soon as I smelled his sure cake, my eyes lit up. Wow,
Super orangey.
phenomenal job! It was his first time growing it, and holy cow! I mean, like I'm like in love, major. So great job. Let's see who else. Wormies. We can't forget Wormies. Roots to
There was nobody
Rosin.
getting Broly.
And I think I did the Bukashi. Let's see. I think that's everybody. Maybe I don't know. If I forgot anybody, I'm so sorry. And
Yeah, same here. But it was a great event. I can't. I'll be
Are you
happy
gonna do one next year?
We're gonna do it next year. Yeah, I'll be up there next year. I
Oh,
worked there,
wonderful.
helped work, volunteer, or whatever, and I was able to go for free. So that was super cool. But I don't think they were even charging that much to go. And,
So I was just going to ask you how much it cost, and then since Uncle Rick is with us, can we give him a geographical hand and a finger?
it was above the
Not that
45th.
finger, but
It
a
was
different
just,
finger.
just north of the 45th parallel.
You got that, Rick?
The 45th.
You know exactly where that's at, right?
I'm doing the math.
And I don't know the other line. Would that be the longitudinal line? I don't know that one.
oh, also shout out, and I know I'm going to mess up the name. Sorry. It's Kulina Consulting and Organic Alexa. I was with a couple other huge people that helped with put everything together and did a wonderful job. Oh,
Awesome.
great time.
Was it well attended?
I honestly, I don't even know how many people were there because it was so spread out. It was hard to see.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about it. Like,
Mhm.
honestly, the bigger the event, the less likely I really want to go. I will
Everything
go.
was so spread out. I mean, they had hammocks in the woods that you could be like, hanging out in. There was walks. There was people making things. I mean, people in the morning, you got up and somebody had brought 3 different kinds of watermelon. 2 of them I'd never even seen before was a white flesh watermelon, and the other one was a yellow one. I've never seen it, and they were very unique in tasting. Neither one tasted like watermelon to me. So, and they're just out there cutting it up, just handing it out to everybody. Somebody
Those
dropped off
apples.
Oh my gosh, 2 big bushels of apples just for anybody. We munched on apples. It was, I don't know, it was really cool.
Sounds like some sort of hippie commune.
Absolutely.
It
Sounds like a hell
was
of a good
100% that.
Yeah, it
That's
really
what
does
my
sound like a
friend
good
said.
time, Skilbo.
Skilbo, was there a drum circle at this thing?
There
Any nudists?
was.
I didn't see any nudists, but there was drums. And
God
All right, I'll come next
really
time.
good.
All right, man. I got it.
I'm there.
What's up, Red? What's up,
Nice.
Becca?
Here's Red.
Hi,
Cheers,
guys.
Becca.
Right.
Glad you made it.
I haven't seen you guys in a minute. I've just been listening. I'm sorry.
Oh,
all
we
right.
missed you.
Welcome, welcome.
We just got home, like just.
You guys didn't shower yet?
Nope.
Oh my God!
Fuck
Please
that. You
Look
take your
at
shit
our-
out.
come back in 15 minutes,
It's been since Thursday.
dude. That was the first thing I did when I got home. I couldn't do it anymore.
We wanted to get here to spend the remaining 45 minutes of the show with you guys.
Well, we
Here,
love you
here.
too.
After not showering for a couple of days, I might just spend 45
Just
minutes.
whoop footing it, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Might
would
take
foot's
2
real.
times, man. You might have to go and take one nice long shower, go back in after about 20 minutes to get that second layer off.
Spartan. That's really
Yeah,
like
let's
what I
do-
felt like I needed. And I got an extra day on me.
Scrub
And then we
brush.
need to watch the inside. We were breathing in sand and dust for at least 24 hours. All day yesterday it was incredibly dry and hot, and just foot traffic alone was stirring up sand. Reminiscent of Luzerne, not as bad as Luzerne. That was much more sandy, but this place was
Dusty.
dusty. Just a dusty day, man. That's just what happens when it's hot, dry.
West side of the state too. It's just
Yeah.
very sandy over there.
Sand dune. It's like being on a big compacted beach, really, with the crabgrass and shit like that. It's an old farm field and shit. So, oh man, yeah, guys, dude, we have a shout out list like 50 fucking people long. It's crazy. We'll do it later on, but
We actually wrote it out. Because
Uncle Rick, it's
we're
a pleasure
forgetful.
having you on board, man. Happy to see you here. Sorry late, guys. It's been
He's the center square of the Brady Bunch today.
Yay. He's the special one.
The Rick Show Bunch.
Oh, shout out Gingerbug. I forget. She actually was at the one of the presentations. I remember. I think it was the composting presentation, maybe. Shout out Gingerbug in chat.
Definitely.
I got a whole dab box full of dabs from
Whoa.
friend Fregrola here because
Shout out to
man,
Becca.
oh man.
Shout out to Becca,
I
dude.
wish I could show you guys how much Fregrola I got in here. I'm blessed. I'm feeling blessed, man.
Gotta make sure that Tara gets
Uncle Rick,
that.
I heard
flight.
you talking about hardworking women in cannabis, hardworking wooks in cannabis.
Hardworking
hardworking women in cannabis. You got one right here, buddy.
You got it.
The hardest working look
Hard
in
working.
cannabis right there.
Hardest
Becca is
working
phenomenal.
look.
She is an absolute soldier. I gotta say, I'm not gonna give too many shout outs because their list probably will cover most of it, and it is a very long list from this weekend. But if I have any one shout out, it is these two right here, Red and Becca, and especially you, Becca, because the handful, I ran solo this weekend. I ran my booth solo for the first time ever, and it was a challenge, man. Like trying to have a free dab rig going all the time, and also trying to like share the information and education about my products and stuff. But every time I had to run, use the restroom or run to my truck or like go grab some food or something like that, I came back, and every single time, I kid you not, there was a line longer than there was when I was there of
The
people at
second
the
you
dab
walk by.
rig. And Becca is just holding it down, just rolling out those dabs. It was incredibly impressive. She stood up. I said last weekend she's a soldier, and by golly, man, you got a good one, Red. She's awesome. Cheers, guys.
I just want to know if you
Yeah.
did like, okay, you're gonna give a dab, then take a dab, give a dab,
She's-
take a dab. How did you run that, Becca?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly how she did it.
Becca owns the
It
steel,
was
man.
really fun. It's not hard to talk about products that you can be behind and that you like and you use yourself, so that's easy for me. That's what I would do when I worked at a spa before with skincare products, or when I worked at a dispensary for a minute. Like, when the product is good and I can talk about it, it's easy. It's easy money.
Yeah, there you go.
You have no trouble wanting to shout it out. That's right.
So did it get covered what event we were in attendance to?
You did Big Cloud.
Not at
right?
all.
We
Been
were
waiting
at,
for you, dude.
at a Big Cloud event. They have had, man, is it the 5th event this year? This was the Cure Michigan Cup. I believe it's completely done and finished and wrapped up by now. Most everybody was cleaning up, wrapping up. We left there about 6:37. There was still music playing when we were leaving. A very cool band, dude. Or it was a solo artist. I never caught his name. He kind of had like a funky, jammy, reggae kind of a sound, kind of like on an acoustic guitar type thing. But he was singing about permaculture, planting seeds, health is wealth, like all of it, dude. And every one of his songs had to do with nature, and it was absolutely beautiful. Grounding yourself, the good vibrations. Shout out to that, whoever he was. Becca's got a really cool list. Like I said, we'll get to that. We're getting reminiscent of the old school High Times Cannabis Cups, or at least some of these old school events where the community was showing out and showing up and showing out. Cottonmouth Kings were in attendance. Mendo Dope Boys came out. It was my first time to get a chance to actually meet those guys. And I'll tell you what, man, I was slightly, say nervous about meeting these guys, right? They've been around for a while. They've been, planting giant trees. They know what they're doing, stuff like that. Fagirlie's like, hey, come on over here. I want to show you guys this weed. I'm like, oh no, these guys are coming over here and smell my weed. Some of the best compliments I could ever get, man. They came back for Fagirlie. You weren't here today. They came back by this morning and asked us for some weed today. Here, man, here, take a little bit of weed, gave them another pre-roll. They came by us, man. Out of all the fucking vendors there, they came to us to ask us for some.
And deservedly so, man. They were judges of the flower competition. There was like 56 entries. I go, how was the entries? They go, mids. I'm like, shit,
we
that's not what I want to hear.
They asked us if we did. We told them no.
Yeah, and neither Red or I entered any competitions. So I go, you know what? Don't let that, whatever you had to judge, don't let that represent Michigan. Go right there and smell all of those jars.
Thank you,
because it stands out from the rest.
The compliments this weekend were just huge. For first and foremost, just thank you to everybody out there that came to our booth, friends, family. The community showed up, like I said. Eagle, of course, was there running a live video, which was really fucking cool. And Smiley showed up, and the whole on.
Take them off as you go.
You're gonna take them off.
Smart. That's smart. These guys are so organized.
As usual, man. The good old crowd shows up with Modern Genetics, Red Eye Rustler. And then I finally got a chance. See again, I had met before. Prop One, maybe in chat. He's in chat every now and then. And MMP Paul. Paul. He came by the booth. Couple of awesome dudes, man. Macy Hill Farm. Kurt, he's got an awesome Macy Hill Farm down there. He came by. He's been hitting us up quite a bit. Awesome dude there. Organically Blunt, doing some podcasting. He came through. Shout out to him. His episode a couple weeks ago, Spartan was on. Becca and myself got a chance to jump on there and say hello. He's been doing a lot of coverage, kind of solo. He's on a solo thing now with his own podcast.
I gotta fill my rig.
Doing some awesome coverage of the community. Of course, Living Tree 420, I think he actually won one of Big Cloud's cups this weekend, and he kept coming through to our table and supporting us and giving us props and things. So shout out to him. Of course, Big Cloud, Dallas, Mr. Fungi, Laura, the entire staff, the security, the volunteers, the workers, the bands. They did a great job. I'm sure that somebody's going to complain about something. I'm sure somebody stubbed the toe, had a bad time, something happened, but the overall experience, the weather, the footprint. Now, mind you, the first event, the section where we vended today was the section with the lowest score. They had the least amount of foot traffic. Big Clouds is attending to everybody's concerns, and they are switching it up, it seems, every time. Today, they put the food trucks in that back area, and that's where Fagirlie and us our section was.
We were right in the center of the food court, and for us, it was awesome.
It was really awesome. It really was. We were busy. We were also next to an awesome lounge. The artist that they brought out, Vincent Gordon, they had him doing art inside this really cool lounge with black lights and couches and tapestries and bands. They had a glass derby, a glass and smash electric race car derby where they build glass car frames over electric cars and they smash them. Winners take home.
That would be cool.
Dude, it was all kinds of fun. Of course, we were vending, so we missed a lot of it. Can I see that shout out list again? I'm sorry. Official Gold Mitten and Bo, those guys always coming through and showing huge fucking Fagirlie, of course. Shout out to you, man, and all your fucking support with us. After all, got a chance to meet everybody. Third Time Use, Bubbles, Yeti, Amanda, they came through. Dude, they gave us a huge fucking package of fucking home goods. Yeti, man, you fucking rule, dude. Kazoo Glassworks, I finally got a chance to meet him. He hooked me up with a nice order at the beginning of the season, and he came through as a really fucking cool dude. He's down the road from me selling his own stuff. I'm like, well, I'll send people your way, just trying to be nice and things. And he's like, no, man, make your money, do your thing. You already bought it from me. It's cool. He's a really, really cool dude. Obviously, all the food trucks, staff, security, and everybody, try to support them all, try to do the whole thing. I know for a fact I forgot one of our followers. He's always coming through and he's watching the show, and Skillbo Sequence. You guys have got a chance to meet him, and his tag is flaking on me right now. But you know who you are because you sold me out tonight. You didn't sell me out in a bad way. You sold us out in a great way. You bought us out, I suppose. Whatever the fuck you want to phrase it.
Was it Shredder, Detroit River Rat?
It wasn't Shredder. He came through and he got the last. He's got a nice fluffy chin beard and not chin beard, but a face beard. You know.
That's like most people in
I'm I know, dude.
Uncle Rick is one of the only clean shaven folks we
That's the
know.
main
Big
thing
Jar?
I'm talking about. He's listening. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, is it Big Jar?
Oh,
No.
for real, he's got that.
I've known
Where'd
all
it
this
go?
guy. This is the first time I met this guy, unfortunately, and I met a lot of fucking people this weekend. You know, Berg Road, shout out to those guys, of course. They're coming through. Michigan, Jamie Lowell, and of course, Ryan, and of course,
Is that what you wanted to show?
Trish and Amy and all those.
I've got an album here to share.
Oh, okay, you
yeah.
want to do it?
Oh yeah, whenever you're ready. I don't want to like keep talking, Red.
No, okay, yeah, I'm going. Michigan Box Boys 209. Of course, Shay representing the fungi culture and putting in some work on some
Oh,
beautiful.
Splatter. Yeah, Spay. She's
Oh,
cool,
dude.
man.
And you know what,
She's always
guys?
nice.
Food truck food is phenomenal. And let's just talk about the food truck. Some people are like, oh man,
Yeah.
food trucks, you know, it's dirty,
good.
whatever. This event you might think would be like an underground event or something like that. The food department was on site checking off all the food trucks Saturday. We were actually setting up in the morning on Saturday,
It's a lot of smoke.
watching the health department with a clipboard.
Yeah,
Who is what is it,
questioning.
FDA? What the fuck, you know? And
No, it's a county health inspector.
county health inspector.
Yeah.
So he's
He
there.
was there. Oh yeah, and his
checking
little
stuff
like
off.
Thermometer and all.
The city
you go,
knows
right
what's going on. Public knows the general public knows it's going on. And there were no issues, not at all. It was a beautiful event. It was wonderful. There we go. Hey, thank you very much for Girly for taking that photo.
I'll post it eventually. I gotta like get them all sized for Instagram or whatever. But yeah,
They were super nice, man. They were
They're
great.
awesome.
They really were. Really, dude, they sat there and chopped up with us for like 20 minutes, man. We just talked about weed and art and music, and it was super fucking cool, dude. Hold on. This was like literally 15 minutes before they got on stage. Yeah, it really was. It really was. And then they did a set, and it was so fucking cool. They just came, they hung out. They weren't even like doing their pre-thing. They were just wandering around, hanging out.
Yeah, just by themselves, no
Yeah.
entourage, no nothing.
Yeah,
just
no,
like,
no.
hey, what's up, guys?
Also, they like offered to have us out in California. You
Fuck
know,
yeah,
like, very
dude.
nice people.
Fuck yeah.
That's not normal.
Like,
You know,
come on out to
it's very
Cali,
cool.
check out the farm.
Okay, you forgot baked tater.
Oh, of course, baked tater, dude.
Absurd experience.
Absurd experience. Oh,
Shay,
I did say Shay, and you know,
EMJ, and Cassie.
EMJ and Cassie. Shout out to them guys, hardworking. They have filled up their booth this year. If you guys are looking for little roach clips, now they're doing henna tattoos and stuff. They were killing it this weekend. Was absurd experience. I got is it Student? Student. I got a student glass experience this weekend. So, you know, the student glass gravity bong type thing where you flip it. I don't know, a whole bunch of different celebrities kind of have their names on that bong. It's kind of pricey. It's in I don't know, $500, $600, $700 range. It's a little bit out of our budget for a smoking device, you know. So absurd experience. If you happen to catch him, he will guide you through a student. We get to actually try out a student glass for $5. You can puff on a whole fat ass fucking bowl. I got a chance to smoke. It was a double dose by Astro Charlie, and he sat there and he ripped the bowl and he operated the machine for me, and I just sat there and sucked them on the hose like good old Absalon, man. Scobo, that's for you. Absalon the Caterpillar in Alice in Wonderland. So shout out to the Kings
Also
of
known as
Canada.
Sammy Davis Jr., right?
Some of this. Honestly, I forget his name, but he said he's the OG King Canada. So awesome fucking high-end sativa old school shit, and it really smells good, man.
Well, it sounds like everybody had a raging cool fucking weekend, man. And that's the best part about all this shit is, you know what I mean? We still have an opportunity. The season's not over yet.
I'm
You know
on
what I
big
mean?
cloud 9, guys. Big cloud.
We're getting ready to hit into this overdrive for our outdoor season. And, you know, we're going to be busy. So the get-togethers will have to wait, you know, take a little pause from some of those until after we have our little harvest and then get-togethers after that.
Or maybe just have get-togethers while we're harvesting, so we can all help each other. Oh my god!
I mean,
We'll definitely
you know
have
what?
Our
party.
Thanksgiving for sure.
Thanksgiving, yeah, man. I got the.
Parties.
We're gonna do it at Old Man's, man. We can hook that up.
We should.
Nice.
That'd be great.
He wants to do it. We're good.
All right. Yeah, we should do it there. That'd be dope.
We're good at inviting ourselves to this place, huh?
That's how it goes, man. It's
Live.
cool, bro.
Hope you're
Live.
listening,
cool.
old
I'll tell
man,
'em.
because we're dropping
cool.
in.
Somebody clip this and we'll just send this to him.
He already knows.
Hey, I'm
I
excited.
was over there, man.
Timestamp.
I'm excited to go anywhere that's not fucking 3-hour drive.
Exactly. That's like a home game for you. Ain't too far from that when everybody's
Pretty
close.
close, yeah.
That one's close
Yeah.
to me.
It's central, so it's fair to
It
everyone,
works.
in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Hey, we lucked out with this one. This one was all the way down by Niles, and it only took us 2 hours to get there. It was not
I'll
bad
message
at
his
all.
ass right now on Instagram and tell him, hey, man, we're doing it at your house, man.
I was
3
only
hours.
5 minutes
Pick a
away
day.
from my event,
Oh,
so
that's
that
nice.
was
Pick a
super
day,
cool
bro.
to have something up by
Look at
us.
you. That's the flex right there, Tara.
It
Yep.
looked beautiful. We heard you
It
talk
was.
about it. It looked awesome.
It was for events and things like that. It was top notch. It was really nice. Granted, it did not top my weekend last weekend rafting in West Virginia, but it definitely was a awesome weekend in return. I can't say it enough. I've really had a great summer, and I've had some
Good.
like crap hanging over my head recently, and I've had some really good stuff that's made up for it. So I appreciate everybody. Thank you.
There you go. I just messaged him and told him.
It was a really beautiful property too, and then when you got out of like the open,
It was an old
field-
nursery.
Yeah, it's fucking. Oh, it's just beautiful. And then when you get out of the open field, there's a forest, and the forests are like on sand dunes, basically. Me and anything grows, we weren't back in there for I don't know how long, but man, was that some exercise going way up. You go way up elevation, you get to the crest, and you
Get
can
them
see.
glutes going.
But there's
Mhm.
such cool ass, like we got pictures of mushrooms and found all kinds of cool shit in there. There's a couple of lean tunes built in there, somebody had built up. So
Amanitas
cool
should
just
be
to
coming
walk
up
around.
anytime, man. If you start walking through and you look under the pine trees and shit, you might find some amanitas between now and the end of the
Yeah.
month.
Where's Skill? Well, maybe you know this. I heard, and I don't, maybe you can tell me before I.
What's the word on the street, man?
Yeah, no, I've heard there's a specific county in a specific area in Michigan that a certain time of the year it's the best place to harvest those types of mushrooms. Is that true? I mean, I don't do a whole lot of mushroom hunting. I've had friends back in the day that did a lot of it, and
I
don't
am
know.
not a traveling wild cultivator of
Okay.
any sort, but I know that I have them that they grow on my property that I own.
Well, that's easy enough. Then you don't got to go
So-
too far.
Go far at
Look
all.
under the pine trees, yeah. So last year, instead of having the red ones, I had the yellowish orange ones and looked them all up and stuff. There's a lot of process to this. You cannot use these like you would use any kind of cubensis or anything like that. You have to go through a whole process. I'm not going to go through it on the air, but you can easily Google that, and you have to. There's like a little chemical thing we have to do before you can fuck with it. So
They're known for making people sick, so you got to be careful, for sure.
if not properly done,
They're not
indeed.
just you can't just pop a.
No, that's
Yeah.
why I'm saying it's
Don't
not
just
to be.
move any mushroom, guys.
Yeah, you can't just
You
poof
don't
any
do
mushroom.
that.
I think for some people it actually does work that way, but it's like not everybody gets that same.
Not everybody can boof. Is that what you're saying?
Sure.
Do you guys have any friends that are mushroom hunters that are not at all into the psychedelic aspect of it? You know what I'm saying? Just for food?
Yeah, I've been on some not friends,
Foraging.
but foraging websites and stuff, and it's like it's like all they are. Like if you even try bringing up psilocybin or anything like that,
They poo poo you pretty
Yeah.
well. You know, it's kind of changing though now with microdosing kind of paving the way for everyone. It's kind of like how I'm not trying to be funny here, but we can all agree that when they had that one Dr. Sanjay Gupta and he came on and he was
Mhm.
like legitimate dude talking about how cannabis is helping people,
Yeah.
even though we'd known that
Awful.
it was helpful for years. You know, sometimes you need that slow erosion by just having it repeated over and over and over. And we're getting to that point now. I want to give a shout out to San Francisco. They just recently last week finally legalized entheogens.
It only
So,
took like
it's
60
fucking
years
cool.
for that city to
It doesn't
get-
matter how long it takes. You know what I mean? It's like the
Over
Last Prisoner
20.
Project. Look at this nice pull out here for you, Rick. It's like the Last Prisoner Project. It's an
The
ongoing
irony, though,
process.
Skilbo, the irony how certain
Red's
very
not working with me on this plug.
There's an irony. There's an irony in it because the San Francisco area was a very big hotspot for undisclosed testing of psychedelic substances through same
MK
sex
Ultra.
bodies, right, on unwilling participants, aka the MK Ultra tests. Awful bit of irony.
One might say that the Last Prisoner
Broly.
Project, the prisoners themselves are also much the same way.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
to go back to your question for Broly, Camp Compost, that was one of the things that where they forayed and walked around and ID'd things like we'd walk around like, hey, this is such and such plant. This
Did you see
is
Turkey
such-
Tail or anything
They were
like that?
talking. I didn't actually. I didn't get to go through the whole
Yeah,
walk because it was so hot. I was like, "Fuck this!" I had to go to town, go to the bar, and go sit in the bar and have a big old hamburger, which was excellent and amazing.
Mhm.
Man,
The guy, although the guy was wearing a U of M shirt, he
Were you
was
wearing
still
a
cool
Spartan
guy.
shirt?
He's still a cool guy. I don't.
Good man.
No, I was wearing a Michigan Bros Grow Show shirt at the time because he's
You guys
laughing
went to
because
Bel Air Bar?
there's another funny story. So I park on the street, right? And I get out and I look down and there's not a line in front of me. So it's like I feel like I parked like in front of the last parking spot. I'm like, oh shit. I was like, I'm gonna get back in the car and I'm gonna back it up into the spot behind because this doesn't look like a spot and I'm not gonna give them a reason to fuck with me. So I get back in the car and I back it up and to the spot behind and we go into the bar and the bartender's immediately he goes, you had me dying over there. He goes, when you were parked and you knew immediately you better fucking back it up because as soon as I saw your shirt, he goes, goddamn stoners.
Did you eat it? Did you guys eat at Schwartz or at Bel Air Bar?
Bel Air Bar. I think it was Bel Air.
That's where we ate today too.
I think that's what it was. What was the name?
They
of
have
it?
the best burger.
It was something. No, it was
No, we
something
were in Central
tavern.
Lake.
It was Central
Oh.
Lake. It was a tavern. Something
In
tavern.
Central Lake. Okay.
You know, that
Yep,
reminds
it
me.
was right next to a pizza place. So there's a pizza place on a corner, then there was a street, and then the bar was on the opposite side.
Okay.
And it was
How
empty
many
too.
people?
We went in there, it was like the whole place was ours, which was dope. They had a football, they had Alabama playing on the football game going, and Alabama looked like they were going to lose, and then they came back, which was terrible.
Man, we turned that on, and I was so disappointed when Alabama came back.
Me too, man. I was like, first time I rooted for Texas in a long time.
Shout out to
so
Appalachian
in.
State too.
That's what I was gonna say. I saw that headline. I was laughing. I'm
It's
like,
not
oh, that's
us
a
that dude.
throwback.
We're off the hook,
We're
man.
not
We were not the
alone,
last
yeah.
team. Yeah, man. We don't share that fucking infamy alone.
I'll be
I want to give everybody in chat all these shout outs going out, man. Cheers to you in chat. I hope that everything is fucking chill, man. You guys are able to hang out for a while with us still. We still got a little bit to go. If you guys have any questions that are grow related, make sure you toss them in the chat for us.
Hey, I want to shout out chat on a kind of individual and in mass level because, you know, the location that we were at this weekend in Jones, Michigan, it's kind of close to the Indiana and Illinois border. And there were people from, my dad wasn't done, sorry. There were people from at least 6 different states that swung by. And a lot of guys from Indiana and a lot of fans of the show. And I want to
Yes.
shout out all you
Shout
guys
out to
right now.
Indiana.
Tons.
I mean, I know we exchanged some numbers and DMs and things like that, and there's a lot of names I can't even remember any of them right now. But man, there's a lot of support. Like this show has more in depth reach than sometimes we realize, and it's awesome to see you guys come out in real life, and you guys kind of give us a double take, and you're like, oh no, you're Red, you're Ferroli, you're Becca, like no, this is real, and it's like, no, yeah, what's up, guys? Like, come on in.
Yeah, faces to the usernames, right?
It's really cool, man. It's a really cool experience. Some of you guys that have been following us for
You know who it's hard to
5
meet is
years,
Baked.
10 years.
Baked is
Yeah,
hard
he's
work.
an elusive
If you have like
character.
the bingo card of like easy to hard, you know what I mean? Like the boss layers of this shit.
Oh, he's boss level
He's-
3.
Yeah, he's a tougher one to.
He's so
gotta make-
tall.
Oh, you'll see him
You
if you're at
can't
the
miss
same
him,
place,
yeah.
but he's elusive, man.
But I think I've only seen him in public like once, and that was kind of a private
Ooh.
mission.
Who?
Baked.
Baked.
I see him. What are you guys talking about?
You see them all the time,
You-
Spartan. It's
Right.
different.
I'm saying
other
for
people's
folks that are like
perspective.
going to events and shit, he's not a frequent flyer at events.
No, he goes to them, but he doesn't like to like stay an excessive amount of time. So he's like
Yeah, he's
knows
elusive.
the mission. He knows what he's gonna do. He's gonna hang out for a little bit, and then
Yeah.
he's out. He's got shit to do, man.
He doesn't mess around. He's there for a little bit and then he's out.
I love
I
that.
hope-
shit.
I hope that he makes it to the fucking show tomorrow night.
I love that about him. He says.
It's a ghost.
Sometimes that's
Just
my
like the characters he's chasing on his show, Scooby Doo.
Oh, I love him.
For Groli, the lime skunk cookie is to die.
Fucking fantastic. Somebody in chat way up said the same thing, and we're like, man, the
Heard
fucking
it's
turkey
very
on that.
good.
Yeah, it was red pill.
There's a
That's
dab's
nice.
worth of terpenes in each cookie I saw.
0.052
Fucking delicious, dude.
grams of terpenes in every single cookie, man.
and-
Which, if you're doing 20 dabs per gram, I figure, for the average user or whatever, that's a dab per cookie.
It's-
I had one before bed last night and I slept so sound, man. And it's milligrams. That's
Mm.
dangerous for me. I'm too nervous
Oh.
and throw up everywhere.
We didn't have our boots. We didn't get set up today till like 1.
Don't eat and ride,
I
Becca.
was slumped.
We got to
It was
get
like
Becca a
1
crab
o'clock to
bib.
get set up.
It was I mean, guys, this was a wild week. This is probably the hardest I've personally ever worked like in 1 week.
Can you give a shout out to Mrs. Fagurley then?
I mean, she held shit down,
the baby.
She does a lot more shit than you know, except
It's
when you're
all
hooking it
behind
by
the
yourself
scenes,
and you're
man.
like, God.
Yeah, I can stand out there and take all the credit for it, but like I mean, there was at least a dozen people that walked by and were like, "Where's your wife?" Like what's going on? And but no, she was holding down the fort at home with the kids and stuff. And but we had a good family weekend last weekend with the holiday weekend and Labor Day and all that. But I mean, that ends right, and come Tuesday morning, I'm harvesting plants, and come Wednesday morning, I am processing those plants I just harvested, and come Thursday morning I'm still processing those plants I harvested. Thursday night we're starting to package. Friday morning I leave at 4:05 a.m., get to Big Cloud at 8:15 a.m., start setting up, swing by Red and Becca's tent. They're already there, they're halfway set up. What did I yell,
You
Becca?
woke us up, man. I hear wakey,
Wakey,
eggs
wakey.
and bakey. And I was like, woke up from a dead sleep.
Dabs,
What's going on?
dabs, and bakey, man.
Yeah, and then it was just full on from there on out. But I mean, I am so dead right now. I'm surprised I even made the show. I slept 10 hours last night and took a nap today. So, but it was a long week, and I'm just so thankful for your guys' support, Red and Becca. Like we went in on a 10x20. It was cool to kind of hold down the post stage like food court area. We literally were like in the center of the food court next to the lounge. It was kind of cool. But it was a great weekend. It was my first time being at Big Cloud. I'm definitely going to go back, and I'm looking forward to more events. I think we're probably going to be done for September. I've got a lot of plans to start harvesting tomorrow, but I'm
I was
gonna
gonna ask you. You got to do all like
never ends. Dude.
which ones are you taking down tomorrow?
It is Durban Poison V2. I've got 2 of those, and then I've got 3 lime skunk left over that I'm harvesting the tops for flower, and then I've got a whole 8x4 table or 2 lights worth of clementine and lime skunk. And then the following week, next week, I'll be taking down my first run under the GML Tarantula lights. And that is 4 clementine and 3 garlic punch. And I think this might be the most voluminous run I've ever done under 2 lights. So I think I'm going to harvest it entirely for flower just to get some actual hard data on it, because when I harvest for fresh frozen, I'm estimating an 80% loss in weight in water weight every time, and so I do a conversion, right? That's like basically a divided by 5, and I take that fifth, and that's my dry flower weight. But that's it's an estimation. It could be plus or minus 15%, who knows, but I want to get some hard data out of this, and it's looking fantastic, so I'm excited for that one.
That's cool. I got the same results for those. Those lights just seem to. I don't know about the finishing early aspect yet. I haven't really noticed a huge early finishing aspect with them, but I definitely see bigger fucking yields with them.
Dude, yeah. I mean, I've got these things are they're on it's on a 4x8 table. It is scrogged out. It's in a let me think about this. I think 6x12 room or maybe 8x12 room. So there's a little space on each side. So we are bigger than a 4x8 canopy, but I mean the depth of the canopy, it's so deep and it's so it's thick all the way up. I kind of feel like I should pluck a few leaves to open it up a little bit more, but it doesn't seem like I need to, whereas in the
Are you
past I felt
showing
like
bee
I
buds down those arms? Are you know what I mean? You're not trying to cultivate a bunch of
from
sea
the
buds.
point I lollipopped, it is vendable nugs. You know what I mean?
There you
Whereas a
go.
lot of time it's just B grade, C grade, whatever. It is vendable nugs the whole way. That's why I'm like this. If there's ever a time to take a 2-liter for flower and get the data and see how many grams per watts I'm getting, this is it. Because I will say the last harvest of clementine that I started on Tuesday or did on Tuesday this past week, I hit 3.1 pounds per light equivalent.
Holy shit, bro.
Again,
Nice work.
I think it was 1.54 or 1.45 grams per watt. But in terms of like 1,000 watt or HID, whatever, 4x4, 5x5 space, it's a 3.1 equivalent. But again, that's for fresh frozen, right? So it's a conversion. I can't actually claim that, but that's like, with the formula I'm using, that's what I'm getting. So I would love to break that,
Uncle Rick, how you doing over there, buddy? You hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit?
I'm pretty high. I start off by saying pretty high, but I did figure out something. I can, if I hit Command D, I can control instead of using my mouse here. So it hasn't been a waste. I want you to know this night hasn't been a waste.
Well, thank you for that affirmation and that vote of confidence on our content.
What are you
I'm
doing?
so glad we cut to you, Rick, for that. Thank you so much.
I'm glad we've kept you entertained and awake.
That's great information for the audience. They can use that, I'm sure, every day of their
Who's
life.
gonna start dancing or singing? Anybody got some instruments?
This isn't a musical episode this time. This is like shout out to the community and some organic talks.
I'll go
Musical
get my
episodes.
djembe. You guys want to have a drum circle? We can do it here.
I bet you guys could get a nice harmony going over Zoom.
We do it
Oh, I'm
at my
sure.
dinner table, dude. My 15th-month-old starts yelling weird things, and we all just look
The
at her and start
fa-la-la
yelling
for
it back,
girly
dude.
family.
Oh man, that's good times.
Starts pounding on the table.
She
food's
is
flying.
funny. She's so vocal.
Yeah, man. Uncle Rick, I'm going to save you a little bit. We're going to talk about this last prisoner project and this chatathon that is coming up a week from today. What time does that start?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about it. You can see how these eyes are right now.
They look like mine.
I'm not
Maybe
putting
my
them
father.
on. But no, thank you again. So it's
Killing for girly.
This Sunday. Hey, by the way, for Groli, it's a pleasure to meet you.
You
meet
too.
for the first time. So it's this Sunday, the 18th. It'll start. It's all Eastern time. It'll start at noon and run till midnight. And an opportunity to drop by and have some good times. Maybe win some prizes. Donate some money. Volunteer to write a letter to a prisoner there's 40,000 of them, by the way, that fall into that category in the United States of prisoners who are
Too
there.
damn many.
Yeah, absolutely. For cannabis crimes. And so it's a great cause. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about it and the support that we're getting. It's just absolutely incredible. And so, yeah.
I want to quantify that 40,000 number though, because I did look that up myself too, and I think it was a Forbes article I saw that said in 2020 there was 40,000 people currently incarcerated in the United States for marijuana crimes, right, as they call it. But attached to that number is something very real. And it's not just being incarcerated. That's an awful thing, and it's a whole different level. But that's not where it starts. And in between 2001 and 2010, there was 8.2 million arrests for cannabis crimes. And so that, I mean, that is a crazy number. 40,000 obviously is way too high. It should be no more than zero. But the fact that we've made that many arrests is kind of telling too. So yeah, I mean, you're doing a great thing, and I hope we continue with this.
It's not where I want my tax dollars spent.
Absolutely.
I don't want to pay the people putting away people for cannabis. How do I not do that? How do I not pay? How do I not allow my money to go?
How do I
fund that?
not pay my taxes?
Yeah. How do I not vote for
You
that?
say I'm a sovereign citizen. And
No, Jesus, don't do
no.
that.
No.
I saw a YouTube video. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
No,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
only two things that hold true in this life, and it's death and taxes. Don't let them fool you.
Nah, I saw it on YouTube. I think you can say I'm a sovereign citizen, and then you're good.
It's real. I saw it on YouTube.
Some guy on a yacht that was in the middle of the ocean
Yeah.
had his own radio channel. I don't know what's going on.
He had a lot of money, dude.
Something about Bitcoin. I don't know.
Something about bank accounts in the Caymans.
Buy
You know,
my NFT.
just the normal things that you'd expect from a reputable representative of a
32-year-old.
fine and upstanding business.
If
Now,
I,
look, we
if I
got
smell a cigarette, somebody should be able to smell my cannabis. Bottom line.
That's for dude.
wow. Well, what about the people that don't want to smell either? See, we can't exclude those folks.
Stay in your home.
They don't have to be anywhere near.
Stay in your homes. What?
Just kidding. Dude.
I'm not.
Smoke
I'm talking about
Just
outdoors and in
kidding.
public. So if they start eliminating smoking cigarettes in public, I'm all on board with not smoking cannabis in public. But if they allow cigarettes in public, it's smoke is smoke.
That's the thing I liked about New
They-
York laws.
They allow camping
Right.
right next to running RVs. That shouldn't
What
be
were you
allowed.
saying,
People get
Sequence?
asphyxiated because of that.
I was trying to say I liked that in New York, their law is that anywhere you can smoke a cigarette, you can smoke a joint.
Yes,
There it is.
yes, that's what I'm kind of getting at.
that as well.
Which I think is pretty fair.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
you can't smoke a cigarette within 50 feet of business.
Right.
yeah.
So
But like in a public park, you're fine. I think that should be okay.
there are parks in Ann Arbor with no smoking laws, like strict no smoking cigarettes or anything.
Well, hold on though. I mean,
There are
how do
no
you guys?
smoking.
I
How
think
do
you
you
should be able
guys-
to smoke everywhere. You should be able to fart. I think if I had
Yeah, exactly. Or cook
and
meat. I
particles,
mean,
like
you know,
smoking
I
a
mean,
joint
where
is
do we
just
draw
as
the
natural
line?
as
I'm
fart.
with you, dude. I'm with you.
Spartan grown.
How
That's
do you
your
feel
quote.
about?
Yeah. Where
Aren't
do we
you
draw the
going
line?
to talk to the state
No.
people? Spartan, you can make that your tagline.
I'm telling you,
If I
man,
can
it smells
fart,
bad.
I
It
can
smells
smoke.
bad. Should you take that smell excuse away? What do they got then
If I
against
can
it?
smell your bad breath.
It's healthy for the
You're
weed
too
is healthier
close.
for you than the fart is for sure. To
Simple
ingest.
halitosis with
So
red
why is
cedar
it free?
farm.
Why is it free for farts to go unregulated? Well,
Where's
Where's
part
Penn's
of the
lady
first
when we
one?
need her?
Breath, though,
Good
it's asking for your driver's and license and registration.
I'll ask her what she thinks about this. When I
Sorry,
go to bed.
sorry, that was just a burn. That was a burn.
that's a good. That should be a good teaser. We can take that as the late sesh topic. Why?
I should have
Why
been
are
more
We'll
farts
never
unregulated?
remember it by then, dude.
Why are farts
Farts
unregulated?
The guy that pulls you out.
It's a greenhouse gas too, Spartan.
That's
Mm.
true.
You know,
Yeah, 'cause
we
it's kinda
should
like
be
methane.
taxing and regulating farts, probably.
Oh no! Oh no!
Should be
Don't get me
canceling that because that's methane. You can.
No,
It's an emission.
Don't
I
get
mean,
chat started on that one, guys.
They're going to try to start making a catalytic converter for it.
Use
It's,
energy.
You're gonna have a catalytic converter for your fart.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have to get annual checkups in the state of California, emission tests and all that. It's just going to be a big bureaucracy. We don't want to go down that
People
road.
to move out of California.
Yeah.
Uncle Rick,
What's
you're,
his
you're
name?
shaking it off, buddy.
Al Gore's gonna give you a ticket.
Capitalize
He's
somehow.
building a new internet. He's busy. He's building a new internet.
Live chat. Unbelievable.
Are
Got
you just
yourself.
now getting into live chat, right?
Oh, no, I
Cheers,
want to be in
Snapchat.
live chat. No, okay, I'm good. Okay.
Unbelievable, Rick.
Control D. There we go.
It's your first day.
I think that makes
Control
it bold.
D. Done.
Rick, are you in the StreamYards
The book
chat?
bag.
I'm in the StreamYard, but I want to thank you, Sequence. Well, first of all, Michigan Bros Grow Show took Caribou under your wing, and very grateful for that. And Sequence, you helped me when I tried to produce my first show, and oh my goodness, I can't imagine what I put you through, especially Zoom. It is wild. It is wild, and I do appreciate that, though. Thank you.
Oh man.
And you and Painted Lady, I believe, were my first guests. So
We might have been. I don't remember. I'm not good at the memory thing, but
I'm not either. I'm not either.
Gotta
But I
talk to the
Do you even
medical
remember
team.
that you did that one?
I know.
Right, no.
I've been on there. For
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
Yep, I enjoyed it. Listen, Uncle Rick, I walk boomers through technology every day here on our show. So we're good. You know, I'm totally
That's the reason,
I'm-
Sequence. You have figured it out. I am not tech savvy enough for Uncle
But you
Rick.
run your own show now.
Yeah.
He got you to the point where you can
That's
run
why,
your own
that's
show.
why he
and-
hasn't invited me on Let's Be Buds yet, because I don't know anything about tech.
you
savvy.
can't teach him anything about how to run the show.
I don't
You
know how
can't
to
teach
run
an
it.
old Rick new tricks.
How to do it.
My Command D isn't working anymore, man.
Command G,
Control
you're on
dumbass.
Apple.
Is that what that means?
You're on Apple. That's the first
Control
problem.
Alt D.
He
Oh,
is
yeah,
not
that's
like-
definitely a Mac keyboard.
You don't have a control key. Or a-
Getting control of the D.
That's why
Get in
this is so
control of the D,
confusing.
Uncle Rick. Get in control of it, man.
Unbelievable.
Do you ring that dab bell?
You bought the
Uncle
wrong
Rick,
fucking
you want that?
computer.
There you go.
Thank you.
That's the D
clear
we're
it out,
talking
man.
about.
Okay.
Hey, Uncle Rick,
Yeah.
can you do me a
I
favor real
only had
quick?
one dab today.
Can you shout out your Instagram and your show and what time we can find it at and where?
Thank you for the offer for the shout out. The short answer is no. I don't know
Fuck
what
you.
my Instagram handle is. Oh, wait, it's coming back to me, and I hate it. It's a lot easier if you head over to my
Answer the
web-
question, Rick.
Maybe it's in the link below.
Yeah, you know what? To answer all of those questions,
Description?
go
Did he
to
say his Instagram is I hate it?
buds.ca to answer all those
Let's be
questions.
buds. Wait a minute. The let's was
I
with a
hate
Z,
Instagram.
but
Yes,
the buds with an S.
L-E-T
Z.
no L-E-T-S
Yeah.
B-U-D Z.
Buds
How
is
many
the
Zs?
funny one.
Yeah,
You got to do the BE. Let's
That's why I
be
couldn't get
buds.
it.
yes, yes.
20?
Let's L-E-T-S-B-E-B-U-D-Z. The Z is on the last word.
Is it spelled Z?
Calgon,
Is
take
it
me
just
away.
Z is
And
in
then you get
xylophone.
look at. Would you please look at sequence up there? I wish I could. do
That
this
is
really
the screen
fast.
care if I've ever
He is
seen
doing the boomerest fucking thing in the whole wide world. It's with the dots.
Sequence.
Let's
That's
go.
not-
The-
Oh, I'm not on my computer. This is my operation.
Oh,
Thank you.
it's so
That is
good.
the Instagram one. Yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
I'm
Let's
And then-
not be dot bud Z.
And then Let's Be Buds is on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Someone typed in chat. What kind of genius idea is that?
Hey man, you smoke as much as we do and still do these shows and juggle it all. It's not as easy as it looks.
Rick,
It gets a
I
little
appreciate
confusing,
what you're
especially when
doing.
you have Rick as a guest. It really gets fucky.
You're doing good work.
Why is that though?
It gets
Why not?
fucky. Did you say it gets fucky?
It
With
gets
I
the
like
fucky
that
when
education.
you gotta keep them. It's like a very much like a BF Skinner thing with the rad and the thing, and you got to keep them like. Love you, man. We're coming up on the end of this, man, and I feel like we could go a whole lot longer, but that's why you guys
Could
got to
we?
come back through tomorrow night
Uh,
at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the late sesh.
The late
Who knows
show.
who'll be there? Who knows what we'll talk about?
And
But we can all get high and hang out.
wait, is that on Monday or Tuesday?
It's on
Monday.
Mondays.
someone was asking about the Wake and Bake show. We're probably going to do that Saturday.
We'll probably do one Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you guys have, if you are already subscribed, we appreciate you. Make sure you have notifications on so then you do know and those odd times that we do go live on Saturday mornings. It's always nice enough because we do that half-hour thing before the show, so it'll give you time to get up and brush your teeth and maybe fucking scurry around for a cup of coffee or something.
Mhm.
Don't do the brush your teeth and then the orange juice. It's not good, but
Or brush your teeth in coffee. I haven't
We
seen-
did mimosas today. It was
I've
great.
seen you.
coffee.
Yeah,
is
man.
worth brushing the teeth.
I always brush my teeth first thing, and then it's fine.
I got to drink my coffee
What's the
first.
issue?
I got to wash the coffee out of my mouth. I think that's too much.
Yeah.
You can brush twice though.
There's a lot of brushing.
Feel free.
There's a lot of
Depends on what you're doing
I'm a
before the
gagger.
coffee.
I can't. deep
Welcome
throat
to
brush
the
too many times in
Michigan
one day.
Bros Dental Show.
Sequence, can you fix your Gaussian blur? It's really bothering me.
Shout out to everybody who showed up